Yeah, Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities, here we offer you. We gon' show you a new way. The content, it never strays from positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted. With the presence of your eyes, what a distraction. Beautiful to soul, especially in action. This year, not ration. Came in abundance. Films like in Sundance, tech like the pop art. Tachi Queen, you are Curtis, a beast heart. You must carry, cause MCs they all vary and seldom do what they motivate. World full of hate, we serve the hope on a plate across different platforms. Let's hear a buffet, hydration like Boucher. Don't focus on a day, we always here for you. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. Now you award winning with no award tours. This culture meets the art. Podcast with the heart and essence of the growth. The power's in the people. Without you, we ain't equal. What we lack is ego. We're back now, so here we go. Run the show like Arsenio. Episodic, our rituals, minds change through visual. Representation of our nation and its differences. Some explanation of our uniqueness and innocence. Mass media's intention is to desensitize. We raise the wise and knowledge is power. Without it, we turn coward and proud of a known product. Like we could take it with us. I wish the greats were still alive and here with us, but it is what it is. We're left here to share our gift, and that's precisely what we'll do with it. Shape shift and fluidly, we can pass this test and still in our unity, elevating through stress. Yes, MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours.
What is going on in the world of media, tech, and pop culture? Well, if anybody can tell you, it's me. Welcome to another week of MediaScope. Don't laugh, MC. Allow me to at least get through this.
I'm just enjoying enthusiasm.
I'm always enthusiastic, sir. Always. This is MediaScope. All things, at least allow me to get through this, sir.
Okay.
This is MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. We're so excited, and we thank you for joining us. In case you don't know who I am, I'm going to tell you. My name is Tachi. I am a media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist, and we have all of you in the MediaScope Massive here. Cheryl Reed has joined us, and she says, hello, hello. Hold on, there we go. There she is. Cheryl is there. Hey, Cheryl. And Arlesia Mays is here. She was watching on Instagram, and she said it was a good conversation. Well, hello to you. We have some other people that'll be coming in. But for now, before we get to our special guest, there's somebody behind the scenes who thinks he runs things, and I'll allow him to continue to think that. That would be a one MC Curtis. MC, what's happening?
Hey, not much.
Oh, you sound chipper and upbeat. Somebody got paid.
No, I've just been running around a lot today. So I had to take a quick power nap. You ever take a power nap and it's just like so refreshing?
Power nap is called sleep for me. So I tend not to do that because I can't I'll just take a 10-minute nap. Nope, I'll wake up 2 hours later. So right. You know this. That's why I don't like to before we do something, if we have to run a broadcast, I won't sleep. I'll worry about that later because I hate to wake up and I always wake up even if it's like a few hours down the road, I always wake up like this. So no. Power nap equals sleep for me. Well,
but other than that, I'm good. What about yourself?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Just trying to be. Thank you. It's actually an entire dress.
Oh, okay. Well, your dress.
When I do things full out. I don't just do a top, sir. It has to be an entire ensemble. It must be the entire dress, sir.
Right.
Top. How very dare you? Top indeed.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's take a look at who's here before we bring on our guest. Miss Tris Beat is joining us on the tubing of the U. What is going on? Creed's Classy Bling is here. Did I get you? There you are. She says hello to everyone, and I put her up before, but just in case, look who is here. Our good friend from the lower level lounge, Bootha Vandross is here. What's up, Bootha? Good to see you. And also Margaret Self is here, and she says hey to all of us. Fantastic. Well, continue to talk amongst yourselves and get ready for some good conversation because we have some good convo coming up. Today we have, and we actually, this is a continuation of the conversation that we started over on, what's it called? Instagram with Derrick Tuggle, who is an actor and musician, and we'll have more. But okay, let's greet everybody who is here. If you are watching us on Facebook Live, thank you. We appreciate you, Bookface. If you happen to be watching us on YouTube or the tubing of the U, thank you for being here. It's YouTube. You're here and on YouTube. That didn't make sense, but whatever. If you happen to be watching us on Twitch, you're a Twitcher. What's up, Twitch? Thank you so much for being here. This is like, I don't know, what is this, the 5th week we've been on Twitch now? Something to that extent?
That's something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I'm enjoying Twitch. So welcome, Twitch. Thank you for being here. We haven't been on very long, but it is what it is. And we look forward to more with you. And hold on, let me take a sip of water because I know that MC is about to cut up. Hold on. If you happen to be watching us in the Caribbean or listening to us in the Caribbean tomorrow on Gospel 107.1 FM, we wish you a multitude of blessings.
Ooh, I felt that one.
And MC needs all the blessings he can get. He needs somebody to lay hands on him. Someone.
I had to close my eyes on that one.
I bet you did. But keep them open enough so you can see what's going on here, sir.
Okay. They're open now.
The Lord won't forgive you for the mistakes, and nor will I. So keep your eyes open, sir.
All right. They're open.
Oh, wow. Randy is here. Hey, Randy, how are you? Randy is all the way in Hawaii. I don't know where in Hawaii you live, but we're happy to have you. We are, and you know what? Hawaii is not international, but it is international. You know what I mean? It's a state, right. But it was a country at one point, its own country. So joining us from, I'm going to call it abroad, from Hawaii. Welcome, welcome. Oh, and look who is here. Jasmine Graham of the ATL Jasmine Grahams. And she said she got dressed up for the guest. All right, well, then let me stop talking so that we can get our guest on. Folks, you know him, as I said, as D-Tug, Derrick Tuggle. We're going to bring him on now, and we'll have a great conversation after this. What's going on? Derrick Tuggle, D-Tug?
How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. Let me just say I was cracking up at the banter between you two.
See, MC, one day, here's the thing. Here's the problem. MC just can't act right. And so that banter, he just can't act. One day it's just going to be, but no, that day will never come because knowing MC, it will never just be a straight show. But I'm glad that you enjoyed it, and we're happy that you are here. I mean, that you are the guest of the day. You are the soup du jour, if a person can be soup, but you are. and we're really happy to be here. But let me also greet
Thank you.
Swoop. There it is. Shanice Green is here, the girl with the fly. Swoop. Thank you so much for being here. Margaret Self says that that you are her birthday twin.
You're right. Yeah. Me and Kaya Cole, we're the birthday triplets. March 12th.
Wow.
March 12th.
I think we need an entire master calendar to keep track of things. But you know who does a pretty good job of keeping track of our birthdays? DJ Mick Ford. He
Right.
does an excellent job of that, and he's one of my favorites. And look who else has joined us, another one of our CQ brothers, After Dark with Johnny Rain. He says that he's so glad
So,
that D Tugs is in the house.
so,
So
up,
am I.
Johnny?
So am I. So you know what? Let's not belabor the point because I will belabor a point.
Okay.
But I will. I love banter, so I'll do it all day long. But we're here for you today, and we started talking a little bit about your story over on the other side. But I know that there may have been some people who did not catch it, so I kind of want to rehash your
Okay.
story in terms of you said you're from Chicago, you're a
Right.
Chicago native, born and raised, but then you made the move to LA, and I was fascinated with the whole concept around you moving to LA. So I asked you, what gave you the audacity to think that you could be fruitful and thrive in LA? So I'm going to let you answer that for the audience here.
Okay. Um, as I said earlier on the previous broadcast, it, you know, I was doing music and stuff in Chicago, but at that time, no outlets in Chicago. So you either had to be in New York or in LA if you wanted to be in entertainment. And as I was saying earlier, I had won a trip from one of the local stations here in Chicago, and it was a 7 day, 6 nights to go see Madonna. It was during her Vogue tour, and just going over there to France and seeing Nice, France, going to Paris, and then taking the bullet train over to Italy. It opened my eyes up to different things and different possibilities. So when I came back, my whole outlook on being in Chicago had changed. In fact, like I told you, I go to work one morning and I actually couldn't get up to go to work because I was depressed. And basically, I guess my soul was telling me, you need to get out of here. And like I was saying, I pretty much stayed in bed crying all day, couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. And so maybe about a week later, I kind of figured on myself. I was like, I have to get out of here. And I had a job with the streets and sanitation in Chicago, pretty much picking up trash, and got this job from my father. And basically, I went into work that next week, and I told the foreman and told my boss, who was also my father's boss, that I can't, I'm quitting. And, and basically I came out here to LA. Didn't have I had money, but I hadn't. I was basically figuring out where I was going to go from there. I basically, got hooked up with a roommate and actually moved in, and basically that's how my journey started.
Mm, mm. So, how much time passed between when you were in bed crying and then you finally realized this was the problem, that you weren't happy with what your life was at that point, that you felt that you had other aspirations and it could be better? How much time was it between that point and when you finally got to LA?
Um, it was actually like maybe a week or 2 weeks later when I decided that I was going to leave. But
Wow.
right, but the whole entire process took about when did I do that? May have been like May or June of that year,
Okay.
and when I actually went through the process of getting my retirement and this and that and all of that, it was actually October 30th when I actually
when you actually
Yeah,
made
when
that
I
leap
act-
out
yeah,
there.
right.
So what was that like? Your first, let's go back to your first week in Los Angeles. As first of all, you knew you wanted to do music, and we'll
Right.
ask you about the acting a little bit later. But so you knew you wanted to do that. What was
Mhm.
it like as a fresh? Now we always picture, because we always see in movies people getting off of a Greyhound bus, which must be a deplorable trip if you're coming from the Midwest. I'm sure it's long and not too cute. But so you're getting off in Los Angeles and
Mhm.
your first week there. If you take us back to your first week, what was that like?
It was actually pretty exciting because because had actually been out here before because my two buddies prior had moved out here prior to me moving out. So I was pretty much inspired by them. So when I was still working, I would come out here on my vacation and, vacation fine. I pretty much knew my way around when by the time I got here. So when I actually got off the plane, they picked my two buddies picked me up from the airport, and we, you know, reminisce because the three of us were from Chicago, so we were all transformed, and so it was the whole week was pretty much like me trying to get situated, and basically what I really wanted to do, but you you find out you actually have to you know acquire some type of work. But
Hmm.
my whole thing was like I didn't want to get back into the the routine. I basically want to try to just get this thing going.
Right. So you obviously know that you need to work or do something,
Right,
right? Because
right,
and it is really easy to go back into, let me just get some kind of job. But then that would be the antithesis of why you took yourself out to LA. So what did you end up doing?
um excuse me.
No
Can you
worries.
sorry about
Yeah,
that.
we hear you.
um
That's okay.
okay. Basically I did temp work, and then like I said, I had earlier, I had enrolled into recording school,
Mhm.
and then I did 1 year of that, and then they also offered internships. So I basically um, did an internship with Virgin Music. I was basically
Mm.
in part of their publishing uh, catalogs, where I pretty much was just filing filing files, or either making copies of sheet music, and a lot of that. Let me tell on myself. I did I did make copies for myself. I'm like, oh, I love this song. I'm like, let me make a copy for myself.
I think I would be disappointed in you if you did not. So thank you. You had all that access and you didn't do anything. I would have been disappointed had you not.
Right. Yeah, so I did that, and then I also did temp work. I end up doing like a month temp work at Interscope Records, and
Ah,
yeah, and it was funny because the guy that did Rico Suave, he was my boss.
yes. Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
and it was funny. I'm like, dude, like I love your record.
Wow. Wow. So, question. In your time at Interscope Records, and funny enough, I had when I was living in New York, I actually was living with a friend of mine who was at Interscope Records in New York, who
Hmm.
interned at Interscope in New York before she got hired by Hot 97 in New
Okay.
York. So yeah, she was very much music industry as well. So in your time at Interscope Records, in your internship at Virgin, what did you learn not to do or what not to accept from the music industry?
Mainly not to accept the standard deals that they were offering. Because as you know, a lot of our artists that we love end up getting the shaft, so to speak, as far as their contracts. And then also it's what I learned from interning at Virgin Music. If you really want to make money as a writer, it's your money comes from the publishing.
Right. Right.
And you need to, if you don't own it all, you need to at least own 50% of your publishing.
So this is interesting because you're getting all these lessons because you went to school, right, for this.
Right.
But there's so many people who jump into the industry and they have no idea. And these are the people that got, right? That sign away their life. And then, yes, you can have all 10 of my first children, and I will have them at an interval of one per year. They do all of that stuff because people don't read. So let me ask this. I know there are predatory practices in this industry. We've known for years.
Right.
But how much of it is due to user error? Like, how much of that could have been avoided? Just your opinion.
I believe 99.9% of it, because I don't know if a lot of people do, but you should at least have have a lawyer, or at least obtain a lawyer to read that contract before you sign it.
Okay.
Because in those contracts, like I was saying earlier, as part of curriculum from the recording school, they gave us the Warner Brothers contract, and it was about that thick.
Lord.
And so you basically had to read everything in that contract, because there, like I said, there's stuff in there that is pretty much legalese. It's pretty much like if I went to read something in Chinese, I have no idea what it's saying. So you need to have somebody to be able to read that to you, and you can decide, do I want to sign this? Yes or no. But a lot of people are so eager to, I want to be in the business. They just go ahead and sign, and then next thing you know, they get what they get.
So, well, I think it's eagerness, but I think it's also, you said it's like this. It's like several encyclopedias together. I think sometimes the object is to wear you down so that you're like, it's probably okay, I'll just sign. Right. And that's with a lot of contracts, and legal language is difficult to ascertain if you are not an attorney.
Right.
So it is always advisable, if you can, to get somebody that understands to go through it, because you could be signing away your life. Definitely.
Right.
And we had talked about, and then I want to get to some comments. And by the way, if you have questions for Derrick Tuggle, please put them in the chat. We would love, or he would love to answer them. He would love to answer them. So I'll get to the chat in just a moment, but what are can you tell us any of the maybe horror stories you've seen when it comes to contracts or whatever? Because we had talked about the thing with TLC, etc.
Right.
And maybe some of the success stories where somebody did take an agency. Go ahead.
Like I said, with TLC, if you actually saw their documentary, they pretty much talked about, what was going on. In fact, the album that had No Scrubs was their top selling album, and I think it went like double or triple platinum. But when you saw them, they were riding around in Suzuki Jeeps. Now, if you remember what a Suzuki Jeep was, that's part of their payment, and they were making under 1 cent on the dollar. So,
and you have to say somebody had to have known. Somebody did know because it was
right.
hidden in the contract. But I mean, it bothers me. And I do understand that not everybody has a level of aptitude to understand contracts. But I was like, between 3 people and nobody, their management, nobody caught that. I think it's deplorable, but I think it even speaks higher to the fact now that you have to be aware of anything you sign.
Well, actually, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, she was the one that caught it, because she was
Okay.
like, wait a minute, why are they making all this money and we're not, and the other 2 were kind of like, let's just go along with, like, no, like, and she was kind of labeled the outcast because she was, like, look, we need to get paid.
Exactly. Absolutely. And I think that's for any of these entertainment industries, you have to really go through a fine-tooth comb with all of these contracts. So let's do this, folks. If you are just joining us, welcome to the fold. Today on MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture, we have guest with us, Derrick Tuggle, who is a Chicago native and now lives in LA and has done a bunch of really cool things, which we'll talk about right after this. I want to say hello to everybody watching us on Facebook Live, on YouTube Live, also on Twitch, and those of you that will be listening tomorrow on Gospel 107.1 FM in the Bahamas and the rest of the Caribbean. I want to get to some comments, not content, but comments. Here we go. Margaret okay. You all are having a great conversation with yourself. They're having conversation amongst themselves, but we do have the queen of food truckery and the minister of libation. Serena Wills is here, and she says, beep, beep, happy Taco Wednesday. We're never here on Tuesdays, but we're also here always. See, now this is him showing out, Derrick, because it will never be on time. And I'm like, what about the screeching wheels? But now that you're here, he's like, oh, let me get right. Like Judgment Day is coming. See, making me look foolish in front of guests. Sir, I cannot. So anyway, Serena Wills is here. Go ahead and pick up something from the food truck. We've got a myriad of tacos and wonderful libations for your dining pleasure. Yes, because even though it may be imaginary, the food truck is very real to us. Don't play with us. The food truck is real. Also, Serena, you have, in honor of Derrick, we have a special on the food truck, the Chicago Deep Dish Special, in honor of D. Tuggle. So go ahead and grab yourself a slice of Chicago Deep Dish pizza, which I happen to love. I am a New Yorker, but I also love Chicago Deep Dish. That's a meal.
Yep. For sure.
And I love Detroit style pizza too. Absolutely. Let's see. We also have, look who is here. I know I saw Wabiri is here. Wabiri, I'm looking for your sunflowers, but there's someplace here. So welcome, Wabiri. Dr. Tawala Ross is here at the Dr. Vibe show. Dr. Vibe, welcome. He says greetings. And if you don't know who he is, he has epic conversations Monday and Friday on YouTube. He does it's like a wake up, a good morning show with him and his co-host Ryan. He also does Black Canada Talking, the state of things with Jill Lala and you know who I'm talking about. Why can't I remember the name? I apologize, but they do. So he does some amazing, epic conversations. Also, one of my favorite bisons, David Benjamin Eccles, is here. Thank you for. Here's Wabiri. She is here. Also, Marisa Signey is here, and she said that she loved the conversation that we had earlier on IG as well. Yeah, we did. We've been having a good conversation, and I'm loving that we're continuing this here because there's some stuff he didn't get to talk about, so it's always a good thing. So Margaret was saying that Pebbles said that it was standard in the contract with rolling eyes. Now, we all know.
Right.
We all know that's a lie somewhere.
Right.
Also, our good friend Patricia A. Murray, who, by the way, has the Durham Skywriter, which is an online publication. She does great interviews and talks all about Durham, North Carolina. So she is absolutely amazing. Who are you booing, Serena? I'm guessing you're booing Pebbles. So, and then Wabiri says, I think they were in cahoots to keep their money. Didn't they sue about it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
So
they actually
okay,
sued and got a big payout.
they got a big payout. But you know what? You don't even have to go through all that litigation if you read your contract properly first. So it's just like with you do feel for people that are the victims of all these things. But guess what? It wouldn't have happened if you were also astute. So if you need help, get help. Don't be so eager to sign. If they're eager to make you sign, you have to say, why are you so eager to make me sign tomorrow? So is there something you don't want me to see? So you have to use your intuition, use common sense, and read. All right. So we're going to keep it going with all of this wonderfulness that is Derrick Tuggle, D Tug. Let's go. I do want to ask a question. I want to go back to this trip you won, which, by the way, they don't do this kind of thing anymore. I'm
I
like,
know.
you won a whole trip to France. They
Right.
don't do this anymore.
Right.
So, I wish those days would come back. But you won a trip to France. Now, let me ask, had you not gone to Europe and experienced that, do you think you would have made the move to LA? Would you have realized how unhappy you were?
I think I would. I think I would have, but I don't think I would have as quickly as for being able to go abroad, out of the country and see how other people live.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that was a fact. That was a pretty much like a major factor.
Was that your first time abroad?
Yeah. In fact, yeah, that was my first me getting my first passport, because I had never
Oh,
had a
wow.
passport. Yeah, I had never had a passport, and so it pretty
Wow.
much
Wow.
broke it in.
And it's interesting because there are a lot of Americans who don't have passports.
Right.
Not necessarily that they don't think it's important to travel, but I guess they've just never been exposed. So
Right.
you winning that trip, I guess, is responsible for where you are today, in a sense, in your career, even being out there to start a career, right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
So let's go ahead.
Basically, changed my whole trajectory.
Absolutely, absolutely. Terry has just joined us. Hello, Terry. And Terry Nixon is saying hello to everyone. And Susan Engels, one of my favorites on YouTube, is here. Hey, Susan Engels, thank you so much for being here. Good evening. We have a full house tonight, a full palette on all three platforms, and then hopefully tomorrow this is full as well in the Caribbean. So I want to turn attention now to, so you're an amazing musician. You said you play the bass, correct?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Any other? Go ahead.
Drum programming, and then a little bit of keyboards as well.
Okay, look, so he is multifaceted. Do you also sing? Just wondering.
I do. I'll do background singing as far as
Okay.
now. When we were doing demos, me and my buddies would have to do the singing. You like excuse the voices, but we just want you to get the gist of how the song should be sang.
So, all right, well, you can hold a note at least. So you
Right.
play an instrument, you can hold a note, or let's say you can sing, and you also dance, which brings me to this thing. So one of the things that got you a lot of notoriety on social media was the fact that you were in the Black Keys video for Lonely Boy. And it's ironic because they are actually nominated this year, the Black Keys are, for Best rock album, I believe is the category they're nominated in. So this is like full circle. So let's talk a little bit about that Black Keys video. What was the process of going to get that? Tell me all about it.
Okay. Well, let me, before I get into that, let me tell you about because I had been in two music videos prior to that. I had been in, there's an R&B singer by the name of Lloyd, and he did this song called Cupid. And basically, me and another actress friend of mine named Jacinta Roberts, we were the middle-aged kissing couple, because they had different kissing couples. They had a young couple, a middle-aged, and then they had an older couple in the video. And then maybe a couple of months after that, I was in Lenny Kravitz's video. He did a music video. Yeah, music video called Stand. And it was basically a parody of the show Let's Make a Deal.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And he did, he played like three characters. He played the host, he played a singer, and then he played the drummer of the band. I was the bass player in the band. And yeah, that was a experience for me, because he's somebody I looked up to, and then plus it was like, I'm such a Prince fan. It was like he's played with Prince, so it was pretty much like a 6-degree thing. And
so like you're feeling like I feel right now, because I love Prince and I love Lenny Kravitz. So now, because I know you, I am actually Lenny Kravitz adjacent now.
Okay.
So thank you.
All right.
Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So, and he was so cool, because when we were first filming one of the scenes of us playing, I was really nervous, because this is one of my idols, and I'm standing right next to him. And then we did the one shot, and then he was like, "Hey man, I like the way you play, but relax." He's like, just get into it. And then if you actually see when you actually look at the video, you'll see that I got more comfortable, because he gave me the talk, and it was like, okay, I'm fine now. It was like, I don't have to be.
You got advice from Lenny Kravitz. Is anybody else hearing this? So it's beyond the fact that he actually got to be in this music video. He actually got some advice. Wow.
Right.
That's a big deal, because there are some people you'll be on set and you'll never hear a word from the piece. So the fact that he actually took the time to say something and to give you a little bit of advice, that's absolutely amazing.
Right. And believe me, I got some stories of actors who wouldn't even look at you. And even though even though you're in the scene with them, it's like you're not even there. So it's like, I don't get it. But anyway.
Well, let's go with that for a minute. Before we get to the whole Black Keys and your thing, keep that in mind. You just talked about what in terms of acting experiences, when you talk about, there's some actors that wouldn't even look at you. How did those experiences shape the way you were able to portray characters in these music videos, in particular the Black Keys? What did that do? How did that change your outlook toward your role?
It pretty much changed my whole way of acting, period. Because yeah, because when you see that happening, you like, I don't want to be like that. I don't care how much money I'm making. They're no better than me, and I'm no better than them. So why should I treat people like that?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
and I found that even with people I've been you know background with, they've been the same way. They were union actors, and I'm trying to find out how could I be in the union.
Right.
They wouldn't even tell you how to do it, because it's almost like they're thinking you're going to take jobs from them. And
I
I'm like, I can't take nothing from you. First of all, a lot of you are Caucasian, so there's going to be a problem right there. But even if you are the same color as me, I can't take what's for you is for you, and what's for
okay.
me is mine.
Mm,
Take
mm.
anything from me.
And it's hard. Have you noticed though? Okay, well let's talk about that. I know that I saw an interview with Gabrielle Union a few years ago where she said that she kind of used to be a mean girl, right, in Hollywood,
Right.
because there were so few roles, not just for black actors, but for black women in particular, that every actress, black actress in Hollywood would go up, of a certain age, would go up
Hmm.
for those same roles. So there was a little bit of competition there, right? And so there was this spirit, she said, she felt of not really, of being a mean girl, not
Hmm.
necessarily wanting to help people out and, just having a bad attitude, but that competition fuels that. Have you felt that with other black actors?
Yeah, it hasn't been totally like that, but it has. You have that even with black males. You know, whatever the roles are. There's a, a few amount, so everybody's in there trying to get get that role. And like you said, you get those people who or may even be known, but they're not talking to you. Or even if they're not known, some of them won't even share information with you. And for me it's like i've I've learned from other actors that have been in the industry, and they've told me what to do, what to not to do, as far as callbacks and this. And I've learned, for me, I share information. If I hear an actor that doesn't know how to go about, going for SAG, or signing up with an agent, I'm going to give you the information. In fact, I may even refer you to my agency. That
Mm,
that's
mm.
that's the way I feel. And and because of that, I I feel the things that I've gotten are a direct result from that.
When you give, you get.
Right.
Absolutely. So I'm glad you said that. I may have to call you because I'm tired of hearing my voiceovers without getting paid because I'm not SAG.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna call you.
Okay.
But anyway, but as we go on now, I want to get to the Black Keys, but let's
Mhm.
acknowledge some people. Ryan Perez is here, and hey, Ryan, how are you? From Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and he says he is digging this. Um, are you in Calgary or Edmonton? Sorry, I think it's Calgary. So thank you so much for being here. And David Benjamin Eccles is echoing your sentiment. Amen. What is for you is for you, and what is for me is for me. And Durham Skywriter says jealousy among actors like that in movie Hollywood Shuffle. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Hollywood Shuffle is a perfect example of it. It feels like it's not fiction. It is like
That's
almost a
right.
documentary,
Right.
right? Absolutely. And Randy, who is an actor as well, says, right, even doing background, some of the leads are nice and some are stiff. Wow. So it's a tough industry, but you love it. And
Right.
it showed that you love it when you were in this Black Keys video. Tell us about that now. Tell us about the process of getting it and how you got to be the Black Keys guy.
Okay. Uh, well, basically, uh, there's a online service uh, which all of us actors know or should know, called Casting Networks,
Okay.
also known as LA Casting.
Oh,
And
okay.
so, yeah, so they have a bunch of castings, and they'll send you ones that you fit. Now I had seen this one because they don't tell you who the actual artist is, and they said, "Oh, you'll be playing a motel manager." And
Okay.
I looked at it and I was like, "Okay, let me look for, let me keep looking." But as I'm submitting for other stuff, it's like this one keeps calling me. I'm like, why do I keep, why do I keep looking, having to look at this one? And I'm like, okay, let me look at it again. Let me keep going. But again, I get, it's calling me back. So I'm like, okay, let me submit for it. So I submit for it, and they, say, hey, we want you for this music video. Now, which nobody knows. Basically, the whole premise of the video, it was supposed to be a vignette of six people dancing and lip syncing to the song "Lonely Boy." So when I get to after we finalized all that, I get to set, and I'm getting dressed, and so basically they give you the song to listen to, so you can learn the lyrics and dance while you're doing it. And I'm the first one to go up. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, why am I the first one to go up? So we're first of all, also we're in this wretched motel up in Sherman Oaks, and and like I said, wretched because we were filming different scenes, and like I said, I was supposed to be a motel manager, and they give me the keys to, you know, from their room as they leaving. But as when we're doing one of the shot with me, them giving me the keys, and I'm in the motel manager's house, which they actually lived on the property, and we're doing the shot, and we're taking a break, and something says look up, and I look up. There's a big, huge roach crawling across the wall, and I'm like, oh, jeez, I gotta get out of here. I'm like, I'm, I'm standing there itching. I'm like, please don't fall on me, because if you fall on me, I'm gonna scream like a little girl. I'm like, so after we shoot all that, and then it comes to the dancing part, and so the director, he comes up to me and he's like, can you dance? I'm like, yeah, I can dance. And so they start, we start off the song. I'm dancing, and it's done in one shot. There was
Oh,
no,
wow.
yeah. So what you're seeing in the video is the actual shot
Now,
done
just
in
to
one
interrupt you
take.
for a moment, one take. See, that's how good he is, ladies and gentlemen. One take. We wanted to show because we knew you shot everything over, but
Mhm.
because of copyright stuff, we cannot, and we didn't have time to edit out music and all of that. But
Right.
what we'll do is we'll direct you to it is Lonely Boy by the Black Keys. You can find it on YouTube. Make sure you watch it, and the star of the show is Derrick, so you'll be able to see that. Sorry, go ahead. I just want to point
Okay.
that.
Okay. So like I said, I'm the first one. So there were five other people that were had different scenes that were going to be done. So they shot the whole thing all day, and you know, they once my shot was done, the guys thanked me and shook my hand, and then they went on about the filming the rest of it.
Okay. Did we freeze? MC, is he frozen for you?
Yeah, he's frozen.
Okay. So hopefully he will come. And so we'll get you back. Derrick, hopefully if you hear us, go out and come back in, and that should solve the issue, because we'll be here. We're not going to leave. Folks, if you're just joining, welcome to the and I just realized MC is on with us. So he's gone out. He'll come back in. Welcome to the fold. This is MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. I am Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist, and we do this every Wednesday. You saw on the little graphic there. And by the way, if you're on YouTube, we'd love it if you'd like and subscribe. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow by leaps and bounds. For a long time, I didn't pay attention to YouTube, and now I am. And so now, I want to be a star on YouTube. So if you could help with that endeavor, we would absolutely appreciate that. But it's not just me. It's this one individual who thinks he's something behind the scenes. That's MC Curtis. MC.
Hey, everybody, what's happening?
Well, it looks like D-Tug is back. Let's bring him back on stage. There you go.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we left off, and you were talking about the Black Keys. They said, hey, shook your hand, and then you went on your way. What happened next?
So maybe about a week or two later, I get contacted by Joseph Ulano, and he's one of the he was one of the execs at Warner Brothers Records.
Wow.
And so he contacts me via Messenger on Facebook.
Oh.
And he says, congratulations, you're a star. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, we just put the video on YouTube, and it's just you. And he said within either 24 to 48 hours, it had 4,800,000 views.
Wow.
And I'm like, what?
So what did that feel like?
It was crazy, because you're thinking, nah, no, you can't be talking about me.
Not me.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like, 480,000 views in 24 to 48 hours.
Wow, that's a lot of views.
Right. So then it gets to 1 million views.
In what time period?
Okay, we shot the video in August, and I think maybe like maybe October or November.
Okay.
So by that time it's hit 1 million views. And so I'm still going about my background, doing this and that. In fact, I had went on a TV show that day, and usually when you go on those TV shows or game shows, they take your phones. So I had no access to my phone. So when I get out, I get my phone. My phone is like bling, 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 bling.
Wow.
I'm like, what the hell is all this going on? And so one of the messages was from my acting teacher at the time, Mark McPherson. And he said he got a call from the producers of Ellen. They want you to be on a show.
On Ellen.
Right.
Wow.
Because the video had made 1 million views, and now they want you to, and I'm like, what the I'm like, what the hell? and actually before that, when it got to the 480,000 views, I did a phone interview with MTV, and so
Wow.
we're basically talking. And if you Google it, you can find the actual article with me talking to them.
Okay, so let's do MC. Yes, I'm giving you some homework. I know that you sent us your demo reel, and the first part of that was Ellen. I
Right.
wonder if we can get away with just playing that first part of you going out. MC, can we do that?
Do you want just the audio or?
No, just the so play the his demo reel, just the first part of it, and then we're gonna cut it after after that because I just want them to see him Ellen introducing them. So I think we'll be okay with that.
Okay. Continue on. Let me get it set up for you.
We'll continue on. Get it set.
Okay.
See, that's right. You owe me, MC, because you cut up today. So you owe me. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right. So now here I am, pretty much like backstage with you guys. I'm sitting backstage of the Ellen show, and while I'm sitting backstage, I'm watching Katy Perry being interviewed. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
I'm like, this is. I'm waiting for some.
Oh, okay. We got him. He froze again. Let's see if he unfreezes. I'm going to put myself. He dropped out. Look at producer MC Curtis on this thing. So welcome everybody to the fold. There's some people that came in late, which is okay. There's no such thing as late here. DS is here, and DS, one of my other favorites from YouTube. Thank you for being here. You have a question as soon as he comes back to life. So Derrick, if you could go out and come back in, we will be able to continue on. There he goes. He's going and coming back in. All right. And it looks like we'll wait for him to come back, but it looks like we have the video up because super producer MC Curtis has got it up. Oh, DS says I look great. Thank you. We had a special guest today. So, I had to kind of do something. Although I like to think I look good all the time, people. I'm kidding. But thank you so much, DS. And again, if you have any questions, because DS asks amazing questions. If you want to join DS in the Question Hall of Fame, please do. And let's bring Mr. Tuggle back on. I got it, MC. Here we go. You're back.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Continue on, and then we have a question for you from the audience.
Okay. So as I'm saying, I'm sitting backstage and I'm waiting for.
Oh, he froze again. It must be Derrick because it must be your reception where you are. And it's also sometimes, folks, this happens the time of day. So right now in LA, it is about 4:05. This is getting close to time when people will come home. So there might be high internet traffic in his area as well. So that could be it. But he's going to come back on. So in the meantime, as we're doing that, actually, let's go ahead and MC play just that first part of him walking out, if you don't mind, please. I don't hear any sound. I don't know if. MC, that's good because we can't hear sound. But don't worry about it. It was a quick thing. So for some reason, the sound is not coming through. But let's add Derrick back to the screen. What's up? How are you? You good?
All right. Yeah.
It's probably just your reception.
Yeah.
But we played.
It's like that.
Yeah, I figured it's a time of day. So we played a little part of your demo reel where you came out dancing and Ellen introduced you. Though we didn't hear the sound, we saw your excitement.
Okay.
Yeah, no, amazing. All right, so continue on. Well, actually, before you continue on, DS has this question, and I think it's important. He wants to know who your favorite actor to work with is or was and why.
Uh, well, actually, I've actually worked with one of my favorite actors. Actually, I'll say three. Uh, I worked with. I did background on the movie with Denzel Washington and Jared Leto.
Wow.
That was out maybe like a year or two ago.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I worked in the diner scene where he's talking with the lady, and
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Uh, so I worked with Denzel, and then I've done many a times on How to Get Away with Murder, but the
Really?
yeah, but the main one that really got me is because um, I was portrayed as one of her family members, and in the scene was T.K. Carter. I don't know if you remember him.
Come on,
Yeah,
living
yeah,
single. Yes.
right. Not not
No, you
T.K.
did you say
Carter.
TC Carson?
No, no, T.K. Carter. He's
TK
a co-
Carter. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
he's a comedian. And he was on sitcoms back in the 70s.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
right. And then also the late great Cicely Tyson.
Oh, yes. Yes,
She
yes,
she
yes.
played she played her mother.
Right, right.
Yeah,
I remember that. Wow.
right,
So, and it's maybe because I didn't know you at the time that I didn't pay attention. But I watched How to Get Away with Murder religiously,
right,
so I should have seen you. But
right,
sometimes your attention is on the main characters, so I probably didn't even notice. Wow.
right. Yeah, so
Wow.
getting to work with, especially with Viola Davis and sitting there and standing and watching Cicely Tyson, and this was like two years before, and to see how astute she still was at 90s, in her 90s,
Mm,
it, it was it was like amazing.
wow. Wow. That's amazing. And Butha Vandross is and Wabiri are letting us know that TK is a comedian and that she knows who TK is. So, and then Jasmine Graham is saying that she's going to have to go back and watch that episode. I agree. I'm going to have to, because now that you've told us all this, I have to look for everywhere you are.
Right.
Wow. Absolutely. This is absolutely amazing. And Randy says that this is so dope. It really, really is. DS asks, what is your favorite movie?
Ooh, wow. I have a bunch of them. Hollywood Shuffle is one because it's
Mm,
business. But one of my main favorites is Shawshank Redemption.
mm. Interesting. Why Shawshank Redemption?
Uh, Basically, the whole uh, thing with the character of Morgan Freeman
Mm,
and the classic line, "Get busy living or get busy dying,"
mm.
and that still sticks with me today.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine that. And there are so many. Well, a lot of the lines I know and memorize are from silly movies like Coming to America. I could watch Coming to America every week and
Yeah,
not be
me too.
tired of it.
Me too. Yeah, that Purple Rain. I pretty much know the
Exactly.
whole dialogue.
Absolutely. I do have to acknowledge this young lady who is actually who I know from Poshmark. She come because I do Poshmark live as well. I do live on Poshmark. So she came on my Poshmark live and we figured out that she's on Twitch. So I started following her and here she is and she knows the Black Keys. So she was excited to come today. So K-Love 2000, thank you so much for being here and for saying that I look amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Because, in the morning time when I'm just trying to sell. So I don't care how I look. But when I have distinguished guests like Tuggle on, like Derrick Tuggle, I have to do my best. Wow. All right. Well, let's finish up because we've
Okay.
now been on for about an hour. And
Okay.
I'm so thank you. You've given me like an hour and a half today because you were also on Instagram Live with me. So I'd like to finally wrap up with, is there anything that you want to tell us that you think I haven't asked that you want to share with us? And this as well. So tell us anything that else you'd like to share with us, but also please give a challenge or a charge to the next generation of actors.
Okay. I also like to tell that I did 2 years as a regular background on the show Rosewood. I don't know if you guys, yeah, I was when a lot of the times when you saw them in the room, you would probably see me walking through, and wow. I would always hear actors say, we were a family, but to actually see that we actually were a family.
Yeah.
And we still, a lot of us still keep in contact with each other today. And I've actually been on other sets doing background, and I'll run into a crew member like, "Hey man, remember me from Rosewood?" I'm like, "Wow."
Wow.
So yeah, it's so you wish they would would hold on for a couple of years, for more years, but a lot of times shows they'll put them either behind a big show or after a big show. So a lot of times the ratings dip, and then once if you're watching a show and you see the show move from different days and different time slots, pretty much they're testing to see if it's still gonna last. And a lot of times when they start moving them, they don't last, and that's what happened to Rosewood. Even though it was a good show, but
sometimes it doesn't matter.
Right. Once they start moving it, the viewing drops.
Wow. So, and then the final piece is the charge, but we can combine that with DS's question of the greatest piece of advice that he's ever received. So what in the greatest piece of advice that you've ever received that you would pass on to the next generation of actors or people in entertainment?
I would say be willing to take roles whether you're getting paid or not, because I've done thesis films, and you never know who's going to be the next Spike Lee or Steven Spielberg, and because you did their movie, that they will, if they move up, they will remember you to be in their projects. So yeah, that was one of my greatest pieces of advice. Be able to do anything whether you're getting paid for it or not, because you never know what could turn out.
Exactly. And most of the time when you're doing like thesis films, people remember that. And they'll remember, hey, I mean, it's the same thing with Spike Lee. He's a perfect perfect thing of that. Everybody that he worked with basically at NYU had some role in, especially his early films, and he's very loyal to the people that he likes to work with. So yeah, you never do know. Yeah, because the one IMDb credit I have is something I did for free. So I actually have 2 IMDb credits. That's about it. But Derrick, first of all, this was such a treat for me because we see each other. But let me tell you all, if you don't know, I know him because of CQ, which is Club Quarantine with D Nice. And we all see each other as D Nice is DJing in the room. We say hello. We have conversations. We've actually been on Zooms together for people's birthdays, etc. So this is how I know him. But I didn't know all of this about you. I didn't know the entire background. And I think this is absolutely wonderful and amazing. And we can't wait to see what is next for Derrick Tuggle.
Let me just say this too. I think because I did this, you're good luck because I got contacted the other day. I have a subscription to the thing backstage.
Yeah, backstage.
Yeah, backstage. So I was contacted via email by a director, and he's doing this movie where I would be playing a trainer for a boxer. And so we've been going back and forth, and so we're going to meet actually tomorrow at 2:30 and talk about me possibly taking the role. So,
fantastic.
so I thank you for having me on the show because it was a good luck thing.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you believe so. I will take that, Derrick. Thank you very much. But please let us know what transpires with that role, and we will be watching you. And if people want to follow you on your socials, how can they find you?
I'm actually on Instagram as D Tuggle, and also I have a burner page, Derrick T Tuggle. I'm on TikTok as Derrick T. Twitch, because I sometimes DJ as well.
You do? You do?
Right. I'm on there on Twitch as Derrick T 312, and I'm also Derrick T on Fanbase.
Okay, that's right. And you're on Fanbase as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
well,
I'm and Facebook, as you call Book of Face. I'm on there as well.
Book Face, yes. So we were so happy to have you as part of this. We will have you back again. We can't wait to see what transpires. And so keep us posted, and you all follow him and his career and all the things that he does on all of the social media. And by the way, let me just say hello to Bernadette Thompson. She says, good luck to you. Also,
thank you.
Patricia says this was a fun interview and a fun show. Thank you so much. Who did I say? There was some K-Love 2000. Thank you so much for being here. C-Love usually is here on Twitch.
Right.
I'm trying to find, where is my other friend? D Carpio. That's right. D Carpio was here as well. I love that I have so many people that follow from all over the world, from all across the country. Thank you, because it's because of you that I do this. Otherwise, I would be talking to myself. So we're going to go ahead and hit it. MC, any last words? Hey.
Yeah, good show. Good show. Enjoyed it.
Good show for you too.
Thank you.
And yeah, no last words, no. Or you're trying to behave because we have a guest.
Trying to behave.
That's it. I see that. So we're going to sign off. Love you all for watching. Bid you adieu. You guys, Derrick Tuggle, MC Curtis and his shenanigans, and all of this great information, and me, we're all going to exit stage left. Until next week, cheers.
Yeah, Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel 2.